Well, we met him for the first time just over a year ago when he and his wife were preparing for the Olympics, and now what a pleasure it is to welcome him back to congratulate him on his success. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob and Marian Heffernan. Go on, give us a look. Give us a look at that. Look at that. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, gold medal for Ireland. Isn't that a nice story? Yeah. Well done. Thanks. Well done. OK, well, let's look at it for a second and bask in it, because this is it, you got gold. How does it feel?
It's great. It's starting to sink in, but even since we came home, I was waking up every morning and, you know, even when we had a couple of late nights, I was waking up just feeling happy and kind of going, did it really happen? She's like, yeah. Yeah, so it's a bit of a dream. Because it was a dream. The last time we spoke here with the pair of you, we talked about London, we talked about the Olympics and your dreams and goals there, and you came so close in London. Tell us about that. I had a good year last year, and last year was last year, and I did everything I could, and the support over in London was unbelievable, and the lift that I got over there and the support I got off everyone, and even when I came home and for the whole country, I fed off that, and I did everything I could. So even in the 20k I finished 9th, and nobody ever talks about that, but it was the best I could have done in that race, and then finished 4th. Obviously I missed the medal, but I did everything I could, so I was happy, but I knew I could be better, and that's what drove me on.
And Marian, of course, you're very much part of this story. Just reading Rob's comments about you and how involved you are at every level in his life. Because you competed in London as well.
We did. And
then you decided to call it a day.
We did. I think we planned, London was tough, individually, and both as a family as well,
In what sense?
Just with, I'd never call it a sacrifice, but there is elements of your life that you do have to put on hold. Like, we planned to have a family. We're married for 4 years, and there's a lot of things, that you ordinarily wouldn't think of, like even getting a mortgage, having kids, and this, that, and the other. And it was something that, I think 2012, and both of us going to the Olympics as a married couple, like, it was a dream come true for both of us, and it was, this year it was a dream come true for Rob, coming back and,
But you decided to call it a day from in terms of your own athletic dream, if you like, and you wanted to concentrate on. There was
an element to that, I think, I kind of I got to where I got in athletics, and it was brilliant for me, and I think my dreams came true last year, and, to put our family through another year of that for minimum gains, wasn't, it's more selfish than anything, and it's, it wasn't practical for us. So it was just, I drew a line under my athletics and said, right, Rob, I saw last year, again, Rob's whole team worked, and everything he did worked, and it was like, he's onto something here. If I can help in any way and put, my experience in sport into helping him, I was just delighted to do that.
I've just spotted a tattoo on your foot there. Is that the Olympic rings? Yeah. Are they really?
Yeah.
And did you get that done pre or post at Olympics? Post. Why did you do that?
I think it's the Olympics is iconic, and it's just it's not like I didn't get it done on my arm or anything. It was something discreet that I knew was there and stuff.
Only people like me might notice it.
I know.
Did you get one done?
I got one in 2000 when I went to Sydney.
Of what?
I have the rings on my shoulder.
Oh, you have the rings too? Okay, so did you get a 2 for a deal?
Kind of
she got them last year.
You went back for it. So tell me about Marian's support for you. Is that emotional? Is it psychological? Is it about sport? Is it about family?
It's kind of more like, I suppose, holistic, because me and Mar would go out training, and I love a laugh, and anyone who knows me tell you I love a laugh, but when I'm training I can be a briar, and I'm very organised with everything, and so when Mar started, I had to set up a whole new team again this year, and when Mar started helping me, he was like, oh jeez, this could go into the home life and into the family. And the first kind of month I could get up and I'm tired in the morning, normal, if you're doing 100 miles a week, and I'd give out for the first 10 minutes, and then training was great, and then when I went home I had nothing to give out about, and I switched off from training, and we actually got on better, and you know, and as the year progressed on, it was better, and I was able to just totally focus on my training. And then when my training was finished, I was able to come home and enjoy, when I wasn't training, enjoy my time with the kids, enjoy my time with Marian. And
sure.
it was just, part of me felt as if I was cheating because I didn't have extra stress. And, you know, it was great. And she understood me as well. Like you know, some days I'd be off and she'd think, you know, she'd throw her eyes up to heaven, or another day, you know, I'd be a bit of a row with a fellow before training, and Mar would just shake her head, like, and she'd know me. And but it was great, like,
that
you know.
makes you a very normal couple.
It was, because, yeah. And there was no agenda with her. Good. She wasn't doing it for financial gain or doing it for publicity or anything. Yeah. She was doing it to help me, like, and you know, so there was fierce trust there, like, you know.
Let's talk about the race itself, because there you were against the Russians in Russia. Irish fella. Was it David Goliath stuff, or? I
said it last year, and I say it to people. I go, listen back in my interviews, I was like a prophet, like I prophesied.
Remind us about that.
You know, and I said,
what were you saying?
I knew that there'd be a dip with people after the Olympics, that this Olympic hangover, it's just a mental thing, like. And I said, no. I looked at my year and I saw how good I was, and I said, I can improve here, here, and here. And I said, and I'm going to Russia, and I know how tough the Russians are, and I know, you know, outside other elements, that they put everything into their sport. And it just appealed to me, an Irishman going to Russia, taking on Russia. I was like going, you know, in my head, it was like going, it's a Rocky story, like, you know, it's going to be the Irish Rocky, like, and I was prepared for it all year. And when it started unfolding, it was like going, the race just flew for me, like, you know, and it was brilliant.
Watching the race, you know, there was a point towards the end that I got the feeling you kind of felt maybe you were there, that you had won it. Was that right, or did you?
It was like an outer body experience, like, you know, because I went through everything all year, you know, my training, and, you know, and then when you ease up for the race, you have so much energy because you're just so tired every day when you're training, and just everything was planned, and I was able to enjoy it, like.
Yeah.
And I never got obsessed with, you know, the medal. And even when I broke away from the Russian, I was prepared to race over the last 10k, and I happened to get away from him at 39k, and I was like, no, just keep doing what you're doing. And it was only when I got into the stadium, you know, I started, you know, I was like, I'm going to win, like, this is great, you know.
And when you physically felt that line that you crossed, how did that feel?
Oh, it was unreal. Like I was kind of laughing and I was crying. I didn't know what to feel. And then the next thing, there's a flag on top of me, and I was like, oh, what am I meant to do? And I always said, if I won a medal, that I'd jump into the steeplechase naked or run around, you know. And I didn't know what to do, and, you know, and I was waving, and then I started doing the lap of honour, and I kind of felt kind of awkward. And I was like, what am I? And then you're standing there with the flag for ages, and there's people, and I was like, what am I meant to do now? Like, you know?
Where were you, Marian, for the race, by the way?
I was on the drinks table.
You'll have to explain that to people who don't understand.
All right, sorry.
We have you in a bar locked, so you need to
no.
bring it back down to more athletic interpretation.
I was doing Rob's drinks for the race, so
right, okay.
He was on a 2k loop, and I was at a point. I think the last drink I gave him was at like 47.5, 48k.
So I take drinks every 2k.
Okay.
And I actually, when we were at the 40k mark, like, I hadn't, you kind of know, I knew he was thereabouts, and I was like, no, he's, you know, something's going to happen, and the physio and the team manager went, and they were like, at 42k, they were like, oh, we're heading off, and I was like, where'd you have to be, you know, like, what, you know, what's more important than this? And they were like, we're going to get the flag, and like my stomach just sank, and it was like, at that stage it became real to me, like, so like 48k got his last drink, and then I managed to get to the stadium to see him coming in.
Yeah. And the next one then was in the Irish bar in Russia that night.
That was
the next but I didn't give him that one.
I was going to say, were you on the drinks table there as well? Yeah. No. So when you eventually hugged each other, and you said, were you talking to each other, or was it just a vibe between you that said, we made it?
It was like everything came together, because after Beijing, and I've told this story before, I finished 8th in the Olympics in Beijing, and then I had a load of other forts, and Marian was like, she started crying after Beijing, and I was still a finalist in the Olympics, and she was like, you messed up, like, this was your chance, you know, you were good enough. And I was like, boy, was
She's very
still,
supportive
like,
that way, obviously.
And then it would kind of go, what about you, like, what did you do?
So tell me about the medal ceremony, because I always think that must be some moment to see your country's flag above the other two, and you're standing there with this medal around your neck.
Everyone was going on, you know, the kind of, oh, you're going to cry, you're crying. I was like, well, you're just cry, like, kind of man, like, you're not going to cry. And then it kind of happens so fast, you're brought out, and then the next thing you're up on the podium, and then the Urana Venus played, and initially I missed where the flag was. And then I looked over and seen the flag, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to start crying, like, and then I could remember my lip kind of started trembling, and I was like, what? And then I composed myself again, like, because I'm a man, like, you know.
You go. Men don't cry. And, you know, you gave the whole country that wonderful lift, because we love to see, obviously, athletes doing so well, and to win gold is such a great achievement. And you came home. Did you feel that appreciation and admiration when you got back to Ireland? Yeah,
I did, and I felt it last year as well. Like people were so supportive of me everywhere I went last year, and I was amazed the lift that I gave people, and I wanted to do it again. I really wanted to do it, and that was part of my motivation. I knew everyone back home was behind me, and you know what? It's never just for you. There's a lot of other people involved. Like I've a big team helping me, like, and then everybody back home. So yeah, I was very proud, like.
And is it true that you've become something of a heartthrob for certain sections of the?
I see. I might threaten Daniel O'Donnell. No, I think it's women over 60. I don't know, they want to bring me home and feed me. You might have the same problem. Like. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, you'll know you have the same problem as me when you go for a carvery and they keep putting more. I need more.
You understand.
So I do understand. I feel your pain. So what about Rio then, 2016? What is that the next?
Yeah, well, this week, I always said after London I needed to get a medal if I was going to go on to Rio, so I was never going Rio. And then with my agent, I met John Foley with Athletics Ireland this week, and just going beyond Rio, I wanted to kind of go, I want to concentrate on my training for the next 3 years, and they've promised me that there's going to be a new race walking centre in Cork where I can walk into a position, so the bones of that will be put in now, and I can just solely concentrate on my training, which is great. So it's, you know, I'm in a good place, like.
And you've been busy otherwise, as per your commitment to starting a family, and the good news is you are with child.
I am.
And when are you going to have a baby?
We're due for January, the end of January.
Well, what a lovely end to that story. Congratulations. Well done.
Thanks,
you did us proud. Rob and Marian Heffernan, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a million. You better take that one. You see, it's very hard to take. Okay.